Hello, I'm Pia Silva, and I want to hop on really quickly to just talk about something that I hear all the time. And I think there is a big misunderstanding about it. And that is the fact that whenever I ask people, what are your biggest challenges? What do you need help with most? They always tell me, I need more clients. And I'm here to tell you that more clients is not going to solve your problem. Because I too was stuck thinking that more clients was the answer to all my prayers. I was working all the time. I was hustling to find clients. And I thought, oh, if I could just close a few more, then everything would be gravy, right? We'd make more money. We'd have more work. I could just sit back and enjoy working for myself and making enough money to live. And here's what happened. Back in the day, Steve and I were just working out of our apartment. So it was just me and Steve in our little Brooklyn apartment. And whenever I was networking and talking to people who might be a potential client, I remember feeling really insecure and embarrassed because they would always ask me, I don't know if they meant to or not, oh, do you have an office? No, I work out of my apartment. That felt like, wah, wah, we're not worth as much. I had an insecurity that we weren't worth as much. And then they would also ask me, again, just probably being nice and chatty, do you have a team? And I'd always have to be like, it's just me and my husband. It's just the two of us. Again, felt so insecure. Do other people have that feeling? If you work from home or if you work for yourself, if you feel like I'm not big enough to charge more because of that, because that's how I felt. I felt like if I'm going to charge higher and higher prices, they need to know that I'm a legitimate business. I have an office, I have employees. So guess what? That's what we did. We went and we got an office, the office that I'm in today, for a lot less money than we pay now. It was expensive at the time, but it's way more expensive now. We got an office and then I hired 2 employees. And then I felt, yeah, I made it. I can tell people, yes, here's my team. And oh, please, you could come to our office and we could have this meeting. Nobody ever came to our office, but I had it and that felt really good. And this was me looking for different ways to get more clients and bigger clients. That felt like the right path for me, right? More clients, bigger clients. This was how I was going to solve the problem that I was stuck in, which was I was working all the time, nights and weekends. I was constantly in this urgent threat level emotional state because I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was waiting for emails to come in from clients that they needed a file or I messed something up or I don't know what. I was living up here stress-wise. And I had so many projects juggling. I was charging hourly. So I was trying to keep track of our hours and chasing payments, chasing checks, chasing invoices, and then of course, trying to get more clients. And here's what happened. Basically, I was able to get more clients and bigger clients. But as that price point and as the size of the projects went up, so did my overhead and so did the amount of time I spent working on them because bigger projects and bigger clients required more time and they required this situation that I had put together. They required my 2 employees to be able to manage them. We had employees, we needed an office. All of these things meant that even though my revenue went up, this is the key, even though my revenue went up, and that's what I was focused on, more clients, more revenue, that's the solution, more cash coming in. I'll figure it out, cash coming in, that's a good thing, right? More revenue, more clients, and it landed me in debt. And it's because I was completely unaware of the fact that more revenue without getting more profitable was actually meant that every client I took on was costing me time and money. I literally would have been better off sitting in my apartment watching Netflix than doing all the work I was doing because the amount of money that was coming in was not covering, that's how you end up in debt, right? It wasn't covering our time expenses and our financial expenses. That is when I got the School of Hard Knocks lesson that more clients and more revenue is not how you solve the problem of being overworked and underpaid. So who knows how you solve that problem? Anybody? How do you solve the problem of being overworked and underpaid? I think there's a long-term view of this and then there's the short-term. So the long-term view is that you need to set up a business that has a profitable model. I have a friend who owns a 6-person agency. They do really big contracts. He's been doing this for a really long time. He's very good at what he does. And I'll never forget the story that he told me once of getting a $500,000 contract. Okay, his clients are huge nonprofits, huge zoos, national organizations, very big clients. So this is $500,000 for a rebranding project. He lost $200,000 on that project. Does that even sound possible? How did he lose $200,000? Because he was paying for his staff who ended up working much longer than they were supposed to or than he had budgeted for. That's where the money went, actually. They also had some ads that were part of it. The point is, you would think that any business, any small business could take $500,000 in cash and be okay. It cost him $200,000 to do that. And guess what? We're doing that too. Even if it's just you, even if you're working out of your house, you can think of the expense. Like for him, it's physical money, right? He can see the payroll going out and there isn't enough money to cover it coming in. For us, for you at home, working from home, you think, oh, it's just my time. No, it's not just your time. First of all, it is your time. You're working on nights, you're working on the weekends, you're working overtime to make up for this unprofitable client that you have taken on because the money looked good. I did that. I had $30,000 projects and I was like, who cares how long I work? $30,000, I'm rich. So I thought, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna work nights and weekends and whatever. That cash coming in is what I need to pay all our bills. But guess what happens when you're working nights and weekends and you're overworking these projects? You are not doing the other things to create the long-term sustainability of your business. You're not investing any of that time into building your skills, building your process, building your authority online, doing your marketing, doing your business development, all of the things that are gonna make you profitable in the long run. You can run on that hamster wheel. You absolutely can run on it for a while. Some people run on it for years, but they will never get out of it because it's just a cycle, right? You're barely getting by all the time because you're working with all of these unprofitable clients. And guess what? All of your clients are going to be unprofitable if you don't move into a model that is profitable and start investing in your business in a way that will build your authority, build your skills, build your process, do all of these things to make you more and more profitable over time. My point is that if you are sitting here right now going, I think that getting more clients is going to solve my business problems, you are sorely mistaken. Yes. Landing a client tomorrow will put some cash in your hand right now, and that may solve a short-term problem. But if you want a profitable business in the long run, you absolutely have to set aside time to invest in building the profitability of your model, building your process, building your authority, doing your marketing, having systems in place. That's what business is. It's really systems that you can rely on in the long run to bring in a profit every single month, every single year. What should you do with this? For me, the only thing I could figure out at the time when I was in debt, because I brought in about $250,000 in those 12 months when I landed up in debt. That sounds like a lot of money, right? I don't tell that part of the story because I think wires will cross. Wait, you sold $250,000 in revenue? Yeah, I did in 1 year, but my expenses were almost $300,000. So it doesn't matter how much money you take in if it costs you more to run your business. So what do we do with this? We have to put aside time. This is what I did. I had to separate my schedule so that I put aside time to actually work on my business, not when I got around to it, not in a spare hour here and there, but specific, actually 2 weeks out of the month, I put aside to start working on my business. And I crunched the numbers and put together a model that was super profitable. If you don't know me, then I'll tell you very quickly, that model is this intensives model. So we moved away from these never-ending projects that were $30,000. We moved to a 1 to 3 day intensives model. That was the only way we worked. Still the only way we worked. At the time, we charged $3,000 for that 1 day intensive. Now we charge $25,000 for that 1 day intensive. But even at $3,000, it was way more profitable. And guess what? We did not need our employees. We couldn't afford them. So that's why we let them go. But then when we moved to this intensive model, we didn't even need them. So that $3,000 a day was going right in our pockets. Our overhead shrunk. So it's not about how much revenue you bring in. It's about the revenue compared to the time you spend and your overhead. It can get very complicated, especially if you don't like numbers. I love numbers, so I love helping people figure this out. I love putting these in a very simple spreadsheet and saying, oh, this is exactly what you need to charge and how long you need to spend to have a profitable model. And once you can see that, and once you know those numbers, everything else becomes clear. Now you can very simply and easily put time aside to work on your business. And now you can put a plan in place on how to work on your business to continually literally increase the profitability of your model and how you're working. Okay, so stop thinking that clients are going to solve your problem. If you keep working in your business the way that you're working now and it is unprofitable, more clients will only put you deeper in the hole. You need to understand what a profitable model for your business looks like if you want to then go after more clients. That way, every new client you bring on actually increases the amount of money that you make instead of just taking up more of your time, making you work harder and not making you any money. To me, this is not about the money as the end result, but the money is how we get the end result we want, right? I don't know what you guys want. I want flexibility. I want freedom. I want freedom of my time. I want the ability to work on my own projects. I want the ability to spend time with my friends and family. I want all of those things. And the only way you get that is when you have a really profitable model. Obviously, I teach all of this, and I actually teach my model in the No BS Agency Mastery Program. If you're interested in learning more about that, if you have a small agency and you want that profitability, I'm happy to share that with you and we can see if this is a perfect model for you. Again, I built this out of necessity and a desire to stop working nights and weekends forever. I just knew that was unsustainable for me. And I'm sure if you're stuck in that grind, you're probably looking for a way off the hamster wheel. You have to get off of it. If you keep doing what you're doing, you will stay stuck on it. Let me put it that way. Anyway, thanks for watching. I look forward to hearing from you guys and I will see you soon.